All right, man. What a cool fire. I mean, it's not all that cold out, but it's cool. We had some rain coming in. I think it might get down maybe in the upper 40s or mid 50s or something tonight. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but I was sitting out here and I figured I'd enjoy this beautiful fire and just give a shout out to everybody and let you know I'm doing all right. And just been doing a lot of soul searching and trying to figure out who I am again, and creating myself and not getting overwhelmed with the whole spiritual aspect to the point to where I start dwelling on it, and then the law of attraction comes in and it starts kind of backfiring on me. Kind of a rough start to this morning. I had really was somewhat angry at my job where I subcontract and clean trucks and everything. It's a big bay that we have, concrete bay that has you can fit a whole semi and tractor trailer in there, so it's pretty huge. And someone had come in and used it and had heavy grease all over the place, man. I mean, it was just loaded. It tracked on my feet, it got on my pressure cleaner hose and the wand, which is what the water comes out of, and it was getting all over the truck that I was cleaning and everything, and just oh man, it was just a mess. It was getting on my brush and everything, and I was kind of losing my cool. And it took me quite a while. I'm a very patient man, and I don't usually get angry because it's a lot of my history. It used to be that it would just consume me. I didn't go out and hurt people or anything like that, but my temper was really bad. And then I'd start dwelling on things and sit there and just think about it over and over. My mind took control, and it fed the ego, and the ego was feeding the mind. And well, maybe they're the same thing, but either way, it was getting fed. And I had a problem with that for a long, long time. And as I've gotten older and I've become more awakened and start to realize, hey man, just chill out and just sit back and take a few moments or whatever it takes, whether it's an hour or half an hour or half a day. Make sure that you work on trying to get yourself back in a higher vibration, which just simply means not being as angry or not being angry, and not allowing that to consume your thoughts and giving into that, because it's kind of like this fire. The more wood I put on it, the bigger it gets and the crazier it gets, and kind of get out of control. So it's okay to have a little bit of fire here, because I've got a vehicle over here and another vehicle over here. I'm over at some friends and a home over here, and if I feed that fire like I almost fed that anger today, it can get out of control. So it's basically that simple. We just need to be aware and take the time that it takes. And the goal is to get happier, or to be in a peaceful state of mind. And over the last couple years, I've been blessed that I've been able to accomplish this. And in the process of it, your vibrations will obviously raise. You're going to go through things, guys. We go through it on a daily basis, to where there's things that happen, and we kind of feed that. We feed it like this fire. And we need to be careful what we're feeding and what we're giving our energy and our thoughts to, because they'll consume you just like this fire. This fire can take over this whole place if I let it get out of control. And that's kind of how our life and our emotions are. And the emotions are something that we need to experience. We need to experience everything that we came here to experience. I mean, that's why we came here. We came here to experience the both sides, the dualities. The things that aren't so great and the things that are great. But the key is in my life, and hopefully in a lot of your lives, is to start working and going through a process of awareness and awakening. That's what it is. It's an awareness. You start being aware of who you are and what you are, and it just comes natural, and you got to let it flow. And when these things happen, I always talk about that ebb and flow, and man, it is so relative in everything, in every dimension. That ebb and flow, it's always moving, where we have to be, because this doesn't just do it all by itself. So there's always an action and a reaction. And what I'm trying to say here, or one of the things I'm trying to say, is that we need to make sure that whatever comes ahead of us, that we can, or that confronts us, that we can learn to bring ourselves back to that state of happiness or joy or peace, and experience and understand and relish the process, but don't get stuck in it. Don't get stuck in the fire. Don't be consumed by the fire. Don't let the mind burn your soul. Don't let the mind burn your friends, your acquaintances, your relationships, your anger. Allow it to be a natural process and a beautiful thing. Come through it at the end and say, hey, wow, that was kind of crazy, but it's done and it's over with. Don't get stuck in that thing where you're always consumed by the fire of anger, or by the fire of confusion, or by the fire of the mind that burns out of control, and the thoughts that come through that control you. Your mind should not control you. Your mind is there to help. Your mind is there to allow you to experience things. But make sure that when that fire comes upon you, whatever it may be, whether it be the next door neighbor, your wife, someone on YouTube that commented and made you angry, make sure that you just allow yourself to look through the fire and to see that, hey man, I'm in control of this. It's not in control of me. And lighten up. That's the thing. Lighten up. If we can go through these things and then lighten up and come out of it, and hey man, and don't beat yourself up when you get stuck, or when you sit there and you have these processes that you're going through with anger, or you're sitting there and your mind takes over and you get consumed, kind of like an OCD thing, to where someone pissed you off, and you sit there and you dwell on it, and your mind takes over, and it's feeding and it's feeding it, and it's feeding like this fire. And sooner or later, it controls you, and it's a harder process to come through. But go through it. I mean, we got so many wonderful people in this collective. Gee, man, I love to death. And, sometimes I get a little bit upset with comments or something that has been made, or something that someone says. And you know what? It's a reflection of me. I look at it and say, nah, ha. And I learn a lot through it. I love you guys, and I appreciate you. And, man, let's just remember, we're all in this together, separately but together. And it is a game, but it's also life. It's a real experience. It's all real. Don't let the fires of your mind, the fires of anger, the fires of fear, the fires of doubt, the fires of not being loved or wanting to love. Don't let the desire for love consume you, because it blinds you. And sometimes the love is all around you. Allow each and everything that you go through to be a process of awareness. And you start appreciating things. You start loving things. And your vibration just automatically raises. And when those fires of trouble come into your life, allow yourself to breathe. The fire has breath. The fire has energy that consumes. But the fire also can be a cleansing, a renewing, a rebirthing. Guys, we're in this game, and then we're in this life, and there's troubles and there's things that are going to happen, and we're going to be all right. Remember that you're in control, that you have the ability to be in control, and bring that focus back to that point of peace. Sit down and breathe. Allow the breath to renew you. Allow the oxygen to energize you. Allow it to go through you as a fire. As you breathe in, and every atom and every cell breathes in the life, and the God consciousness becomes aware and awakens. The fire is there. You're going to walk through the fire. But remember, the fire is what you make it out to be. I love you guys so much, and I miss you. And I'm walking through this life, through the coals, and through the fire, and through the love, breathing and allowing my life to be created as I choose, and not allowing life around me to choose and to become the guider of me. So anyway, I love you guys again. I've said that many, many times, but I want you to know that love is the most important thing, and that it's there everywhere. Just sit down and allow it to happen. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.